This is the restroom.
I
didn't take a picture.
I didn't know people would meet here.
No, that's gross.
I'm
And
sorry.
I don't want to be in your picture anyway.
I didn't know that. It was just a selfie. I'm sorry. I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna go walk out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I got you. I got you.
I tried, dude. I tried.
I got
man.
you. Yeah, you
Dude,
suck.
hey, dude. I think it's almost lunchtime, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
I was telling you, it's like
Oh,
almost time, man. We
we
need
need
to
to
go.
go. Let's go, let's
Oh
go.
my God, dude.
I gotta go to the restroom. Oh.
Man, wonderful day outside. Whoa, somebody's iPad. What? Wow. This picture. I think this is Okafor's. I need to go give it to him. Whoa, Matt, do you know what you're doing?
No.
Do you know what happens when you do that to your charger?
No.
You shorten out the cords and you're making that work. You know how much you have to pay for them chargers?
Like $2.
No, that's not covered on the iPad insurance. That's $30 of your own money or your parents' money. Do you know that?
No, I didn't.
What would you do if it doesn't charge?
Not bring it to school.
Well, now you don't have an iPad because now it's dead.
Yeah.
You think that's smart, man?
No.
You think that's smart?
No.
Oh, damn. What? Hello, Harmon. I'm Chris, and this is Grace, and she's going to tell us why students are breaking their iPads. So, why do you think that students are breaking their iPads?
I think because they're not being responsible and they like taking off their cases and playing with them, and they just really don't care for it that much. They just think because it's theirs.
So, what can you give, like, advice? Can you give advice for your fellow peers and upcoming freshmen that's going to be here next year?
You should really take care of them and be responsible because there's a lot of schools around the world that don't get to have iPads.
Thank you. So in conclusion of that, thank you, Grace. We should be very thankful for what we have. These iPads are not cheap. And we remember your parents paid $40 for your insurance. And depending how bad it is broken, it can go up. So please remember that your iPads are very important and please take care. Okay. Hello, Harmon. This is Faith and she's going to tell us why taking off your covers on your iPad is bad.
Because like you might think it's cool or something, but you could drop it and get damaged and you'll just have to pay to get it redone.
Hello, I'm Chris, and as everybody knows, this is Mr. Owens. So, Mr. Owens, how do you feel about us having the iPads?
I love it. I think it's an opportunity for us to be 21st century learning. Students can be able to connect with the world, connect with each other, collaborate. So this is a tool that gives opportunity to be able to do.
Now, we know there's a kind of an issue, like people breaking their iPads. I don't know how much of it is. Like, what's the hassle of like kids breaking their iPads?
Well, there's been quite a few iPads that have been damaged. For screens, it's been a big thing. Students are cracking their screens.
Like, so it's just like people taking it off the cases, or it's just them breaking it?
There have been some cases where some situations where students have taken the cases off and they shattered, and at that point the student has to pay for the damage because
the case was off.
Yeah, because the case was off because the insurance doesn't cover that. So, but there have been some iPads that have been cracked with the case on. So, cases, the screens have been the biggest issue.
Do you think? I know there's not a lot of kids in the school, and probably I would say like a good 85%, maybe 90%. Do you think these iPads can be a distraction to the students more than a helpful thing for some students?
For some, case in point, my own son. He likes to play games, so there are times when he can have his iPad out in his class, and there's times when he can't. Only in instructional times because of the temptation there to play games.
Yeah.
I think for some it can be a distraction, but think that's at that point it's up to the teacher.
So do you think there should be a grade limit from like a certain grade, like 7th maybe throughout high school? Or
I don't think there should be a grade limit at all.
think they should, if you can handle the technology, they should have it?
Yes. We have kids that are in first grade. You know, my daughter's in the second grade. She has an iPad. She loves it. She's able to handle her technology. It just depends on the individual, in each individual classroom, and how the teacher is using the iPad in the classroom for a different activity or assignment, and how the kids are engaged in class. I think having an iPad at 7 years old is no different than having an iPad at 17 as far as being able to control when you're using it.
Now going back to the iPad like breaking thing. Now, have you ever had like a case of people like breaking their or like having chargers that's not being able to be used?
No, I've had students come to me and say their charger is not charging anymore.
Well, yeah, that's.
Yeah, I've had that before.
So how much is it for like a charger if it's not charging your iPad?
I'm unsure about that. They would have to go to the Apple store, AT&T store, and of course purchase a new one because the insurance for the district does not cover the accessories. So they would have to, it only covers the iPad and the hardware. So I'm gonna have to go to my
Well, everybody, that's the views of your principals. Well, Mr. Owens, matter of fact. Then thank you. Yeah, hello, I'm Chris, and this is Miss Lowry, and she's going to tell us her personal opinions about the iPads. Now, as a teacher, how do you feel about your students having an iPad?
As a teacher, I am happy that my students have their own iPads because they have their own personal learning device for anytime, anywhere learning. If I look at it from an educational standpoint, but yes, they can be a little distracting sometimes.
So, I know teachers also have like the MacBooks for like school use, and then iPads. How do you use your own iPad that the school has provided to you?
Well, like many of the students, I use my iPad for social use as well as educational. I use it to look up items on the internet as well as communicating and contacting my friends.
So, what are like the more important vital uses of an iPad, knowing that you are, as a history teacher, how do you use it as for your subject?
Well, there are many geography apps available out there, as well as organizational and skill-based apps that we use within class. And it's a very useful tool to connect to School Web and my iTunes U course.
So, as myself, my little sister, she has an iPad, which I think is crazy, because when I was little, I barely got a computer at different stations. So as all kids around LSID has an iPad, do you think there should be an age limit, or do you think it's okay for everybody to have an iPad?
I think it's okay for everybody to have an iPad, but it is on a case-by-case basis, just like with our high school students. Some people can handle it, and some cannot. And those who cannot should be trained or in good habits and good personal uses, and those who can should not be hindered or not allowed to use a piece of equipment that they can use.
So, if they break their iPads, do you think they should be held accountable for what they've done? Do you think they should either not get it back or wait longer than the student? Like, especially if somebody's broken it like multiple times, do you think that they should not get it back or just wait for it?
I think that they should not get it back, or they should wait for a longer period of time, or at least there shouldn't be a rush to get it back. Whereas I like the device in the student's hand for that anytime, anywhere learning. They've obviously proven that they can't handle it, so they can take their learning in class using the Airs or the MacBook Pros, or going to the public library after school to complete their work.
So, we all know that the iPads are not particularly stylish. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody either has, depending on what grade level you have, like all high school has like either all black or black and blue. Do you think that we should have personal cases where we can style it so it's different from everybody else's in the school?
I think as long as the cases meet the requirements for safety and protection and the insurance policies that they have, they should. I wouldn't want a student to go out and get a more flimsy case than what we have on there now, because then that can increase the breakage rates and then they have no idea.
So as a teacher, would you pay like an extra 10 or so more dollars for a stylish case?
I sure did.
Or think of you as a student, you think a student would pay for it?
I would think that they would want to pay for it. I don't know if they can pay for it. But again, they are allowed to get new cases as long as it falls within the insurance guidelines.
Thank you. So guys, remember that these iPads are a blessing to all of us in the LSID network, from first grade all the way to the seniors in high school. Remember, please don't break your iPads. Not everything is covered on the insurance, such as if you break your chargers, and even if you take your case off your iPad and it breaks, that is not covered. So please remember, everything on your iPad is not insured. So please take care of your iPad, and thank you.
My name is Isabella Rendon, and it was right before Christmas break, and I have second period at Maine. So in my first period, time just got away and I forgot my iPad in my first period. So when I got to Maine, there was no way I could go get my iPad. And I was really nervous because I didn't have my profile picture on my lock screen, and I didn't have my name on my lock screen either. So I was freaking out, like, how am I gonna get my iPad back? And luckily, my mom was able to go to the school after school had ended to go get my iPad, and to get it back, she had to know my passcode and what my lock screen was.